40 years old. Released by his own club weeks before the tournament began. A goalkeeper his team looked at and decided was simply not worth keeping. And then he showed up at the World Cup and stopped Lionel Messi 8 times in a single match. One goalkeeper, 8 saves against the greatest player who has ever lived. Nobody predicted it. Nobody was ready for it. And this tournament is just getting started. That is the story of Vozinha. That is the story of Cabo Verde at this World Cup. And if you thought you had seen everything football could throw at you, get comfortable. Because the next few minutes are going to remind you why this sport is unlike anything else on the planet. Go back to the beginning because this story deserves to be told properly. Vozinha plays, or rather played, for Chaves in the 2nd Division of Portugal, a club in the 2nd tier, not exactly the cathedral of football. And his club looked at their 40-year-old goalkeeper and made a decision. No renewal, no future here, thank you very much. Days later, Vozinha was standing in goal at the World Cup. In the group stage against Spain, the Spanish national team, packed with elite technical quality from front to back, he made 8 saves and kept a clean sheet. 8 saves! A man who had just been told he was finished, shutting out one of the most technically gifted international sides in the game. The world lost its mind. 50,000 Instagram followers before the tournament kicked off. 18 million now. He overtook Thibaut Courtois as the most followed goalkeeper on the platform. Think about that. A goalkeeper released by a Portuguese 2nd Division club became more famous on social media than the man who helped Real Madrid win the Champions League. Football has a brutal and magnificent sense of humor. And then came Argentina, round of 16, the reigning world champions, Lionel Messi, and Cabo Verde, with their beloved Vozinha in goal, refused to bend. This was the match of the tournament, no argument, no close second. People walked in expecting a comfortable Argentine win and a quiet, dignified exit for the African side. Instead, they got 90 minutes of pure theater that pushed into extra time. Argentina went ahead. Cabo Verde equalized. The ebb and flow was relentless. That Argentine pattern of deliberate passing, patient build-up, then a sudden, violent change of gear and a scalpel through ball into space, answered every time by disciplined defensive shape and dangerous counterattacks from the Islanders. Sidney Cabral's goal. I have to stop on Sidney Cabral's goal. Curl, dip, top corner. A trajectory that had absolutely no right to end up where it did, right in the postage stamp. That is the best goal of this World Cup, no debate. You don't score a goal like that in training on your best day. You score it on the biggest night of your life, when everything is on the line. One of those goals that lives forever. And through all of it, Vozinha was there. 5 shots from Messi, 5, and he saved them. He stopped a Messi free kick. He won a one-on-one duel with the Argentina captain. In their private battle within the match, you could genuinely call Vozinha versus Messi a draw. Argentina eventually won 3-2 in extra time. Cabo Verde were eliminated, but eliminated as absolute heroes. That shirt, those colors, this goalkeeper, unforgettable. Now about Messi himself, because you cannot watch a performance like that and not talk about what you are actually looking at. He spent long stretches of the game barely touching the ball, walking, scanning, waiting. You would think he was almost a passenger. And then, one perfect moment of clarity. He reads the defensive line of Cabo Verde before anyone else does. He sees the gap. He accelerates like he is 20 years old again. He controls a gorgeous long ball from Lisandro Martinez at full pace, and he finishes. Ice cold. That is how Messi scores. Not through force. Through understanding the game at a frequency nobody else can tune into. He was involved in all 3 Argentine goals. He leads the tournament scoring chart with 7 goals. 7. The greatest of all time, still doing it, still making jaws drop. Egypt, meanwhile, were writing their own chapter of this extraordinary first knockout round, and it included one of the finest penalty shootout moments you will ever see. Egypt against Australia. Tight, scrappy, hard-fought. The kind of match that stays scoreless in the mind, even though Egypt did open the scoring. An own goal from Hani leveled it, Extra time changed nothing, and so it went to penalties. Australia's manager, Tony Popovich, made a bold call. He brought on veteran goalkeeper Matthew Ryan specifically for the shootout. The idea was clear. Use a specialist. Recreate the magic of those legendary late goalkeeper substitutions that have decided tournaments. Egypt's players were watching Ryan clips in the tunnel before the kicks, trying to work him out. It did not work. Ryan saved nothing. He did not guess the direction of a single kick. And then Mohamed Salah walked up, looked at the goal, and chipped it. A Panenka. Down the middle. Soft as you like, with that half smirk that became a meme within approximately 30 seconds of hitting the net. Egypt, for the first time in their history, have won a World Cup knockout match. The Pharaohs are in the last 16, and next they face Argentina. If you love this kind of football breakdown, the tactics, the drama, the stories behind the stories, subscribe, because this tournament is delivering something extraordinary every single day. But not everything at this World Cup has been beautiful. Croatia versus Portugal left a wound that is still raw. Croatia had a goal disallowed through VAR, specifically through the connected ball technology sensor embedded in the match ball, after Igor Matanovic was judged to have fractionally touched the ball with a body part that placed him offside. Here is the problem. You cannot see the contact on any replay. Watch it again, slow it down frame by frame, nothing is visible. The sensor in the ball detected a touch that had zero influence on the trajectory. Zero. Gary Neville was furious. His position. In a situation that close, the benefit of the doubt belongs to the attacking team. Croatia thought they had scored one of the goals of the tournament. Instead, it was taken by a decision that will be argued about for years. Zlatan Ibrahimovic agreed. Zlatko Dalic, the Croatian manager, said VAR is murdering the emotions of the game. And Luka Modric spoke at real length. This is a man who means every word, especially on a stage this big. His argument, VAR should only intervene when an error is 100% clear, not in gray zones, not when technology detects something the human eye cannot confirm. When the logic of sport and the letter of the rules point in completely opposite directions, the system has failed the game. FIFA had to release an official statement. They cited the ball sensor. But the question that will not go away is simple. Should a goal be disallowed for a contact so microscopic it is invisible on camera? The technology is not infallible. The sensors misread sometimes. And a team's World Cup campaign may have ended with a decision that felt like injustice, even if no malice was involved. A doping shadow also fell over this tournament. 8 Tunisia players were found to have traces of a banned anabolic substance in their blood. Before you assume the worst, the concentration levels were below the established threshold, and nobody has been suspended. The more probable explanation is straightforward. Tunisia were based in Monterrey, Mexico during the group stage, and in Mexico this particular substance is illegally used in livestock farming to promote muscle growth in cattle. The players almost certainly ate contaminated meat. It has happened before in other sports. FIFA and the Tunisian Federation are investigating. But it is yet another reminder that professional athletes must track every single thing they consume, because a restaurant meal in the wrong city can trigger consequences that destroy careers. And that is not hyperbole. Julian Nagelsmann is out as Germany manager after the World Cup exit. He said it himself. After a disappointment this deep, the team deserves a fresh start. The German press have torn apart everything. The closed coaching staff with no outside perspectives, the hotel choice that upset players, the physical preparation that drew complaints from within the squad. Some of those criticisms are fair. Some of it is simply post-failure pile-on. But what emerges is a picture of a camp that lacked unity when unity was everything. The good news for German football is that Jurgen Klopp has confirmed negotiations. His Red Bull contract is not expected to be a barrier. When a motivated, rested Klopp commits to something, the energy that follows is almost impossible to replicate in football management anywhere in the world. Germany will be a force again. On the transfer front, Van Dijk is reportedly no longer untouchable at Liverpool. AC Milan under Ruben Amorim want him, and Amorim is pushing hard personally. The obstacle is enormous. £400,000 per week at Anfield, an almost impossible number for Serie A. A deal only happens if the Dutchman accepts a major pay cut. Ange Postecoglou, the man who won Tottenham a trophy before injuries wrecked his squad so badly they could barely field 11 fit starters, has been appointed at Al Nassr. He is about to try to build a high-press attacking system around Cristiano Ronaldo, who at this stage of his career cannot press the way Postecoglou demands. That tension is going to be one of the most compelling subplots of next season. And in Naples, Massimiliano Allegri has signed until 2029. The core question writes itself. Can a manager who relies on individual creativity extract results from a squad built for Antonio Conte's system? That answer will define Napoli before a ball is kicked. And what of Vozinha? He is a free agent. There is a serious offer from a Brazilian second division side. There is interest from Kaizer Chiefs in South Africa, one of the continent's most supported clubs, whose 18 million fans would welcome a goalkeeper with 18 million Instagram followers. And then there are the whispers, not confirmed fact, that Barcelona, who have recently moved on from multiple goalkeepers and need experienced cover, may look at a free transfer for someone who just showed the world what he can do. Stranger things have happened. The thought of that Cabo Verde goalkeeper walking into Camp Nou, it almost feels like something football would never let you have. But then again, nobody thought a 40-year-old released by his own club would stop Lionel Messi 8 times at a World Cup, and here we are. So what do you think? Was the technology right to disallow Matanovic's goal? The letter of the law followed correctly in a world of increasingly precise officiating? Or was it the moment the sport allowed a censor to override its own common sense and robbed Croatia of a moment that deserved to exist? Drop your answer in the comments below because this debate is far from settled. And if this is the kind of deep football breakdown you want every day of this tournament, subscribe. We are not going anywhere, and neither is the drama.